While Stanford is academically on par with the Ivies, here's something it has that they don't. Palm trees on campus. Perhaps those are emblematic of the possibilities that accompany Stanford studenthood. One student told us in their Princeton Review survey, at Stanford, anything is possible. I've lived on a schooner with faculty, studying sharks, snorkeled in the Great Barrier Reef, hiked in the Australian rainforest, studied Antarctic phytoplankton with world-class scientists, and spent countless nights discussing philosophy, politics, film, and art until sunrise. Folks, it's no wonder that nearly 12,000 students and their parents that we surveyed in our College Hopes and Worries survey, the #1 dream school among both groups was none other than Stanford University. While the university is by all accounts academically rigorous, in one student's word, at the forefront of every field of study, it also features dynamic and very often accessible professors. A mechanical engineering student told us that he plays basketball on Friday mornings with his advisor and often brings his homework to discuss problems right afterwards. While students, like their professors, are known to be incredibly accomplished and smart, many report to us that their peers are humble and down to earth as well. One characterized Stanford students as ridiculously friendly. What unites this diverse group of students? We ask the same thing. One student puts it this way: everyone fits in because we're united in the fire that drives us all to be excited about what we do. Plus, besides having a beautiful campus, did we mention the palm trees? Stanford also has a very active one. It's pretty much impossible to be bored. At Stanford, it is a refrain we hear over and over again. Plus, Palo Alto's proximity to San Francisco and nearby beaches means that there is plenty to do on campus as well as off. Folks, I would be remiss if I didn't touch on Stanford's strong ties to Silicon Valley. TechCrunch once described the relationship as a self-perpetuating cycle of innovation. And indeed, many of the most significant innovations of the 21st century can be tied directly to research done on Stanford's campus. Tech advancements aside, Stanford's vaunted sports program is another cause for celebration. Stanford's records show that the Cardinal have won at least one NCAA championship during each of the last 43 years. Stanford's varsity teams have won 123 NCAA championships and 149 national titles. Superlative indeed. The hardest thing about Stanford, you guessed it, is getting in. Stanford currently holds the distinction of being the toughest school in the country to gain admission to. Just about 3.6% of the 47,451 students who applied to be members of the class of 2022 were actually offered admission. That's the bad news for prospective students. The good news, Stanford's practices holistic admission, meaning that each piece of every application is considered as part of the integrated and comprehensive whole. Stanford admission teams care deeply about the factors that make you, you. Your background, your life experiences, your high school, your academic achievements, your character, your interests, and so on. Plus, there's more good news for prospective students when considering Stanford admission. Stanford makes a generous promise to its students. We meet the full demonstrated need without loans for every admitted undergrad who qualifies for financial assistance. What that means is you could potentially graduate from Stanford debt-free. And speaking of graduation, Stanford ranks among the top schools for graduate employability. It's no surprise that Stanford ranks #2 on our best value colleges ranking list. It's also a top ranking school for best alumni network and best career placement, among many other distinctions. Folks, you can check out Stanford's profile on PrincetonReview.com to find out much more. Becoming a Stanford student means a lot: intellectual riches, an inspiring peer group, access to world-class faculty, and a promise of great job prospects, not to mention the palm trees. Folks, thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel to be the first to see every inside college profile, plus get expert tips and strategies for how to get in.